Okay, there we are. We are live.
All right, good evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 7th at 7:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope that everybody had a good holiday weekend and that everybody's belly was filled with ham or lamb and chocolate and peeps that I know Crazy Bee likes to bite their heads off first or their butts off first, one of the parts, whatever. But we hope you enjoyed your weekend. I wish that Monday would be a holiday afterwards. 'Cause it's kind of hard.
I
Well,
mean,
I
if you
guess
want to
that you
claim
could take time
American
off. Or
Easter followed by European Easter, you absolutely can.
there you go. We'll take it. Because hey, us Christians need everything we could possibly get right now. Um,
Oh,
um. So Crazy Bee, why don't you go ahead and get started with your chit chat, and then I'll catch up a couple minutes here.
alrighty. So my day's been
Oh,
interesting, to say the least. I was
this
kind
is
of
weird. Hold on 1 second. This is very weird.
okay.
Usually on my screen, you're on the right and I'm on the left. Today, you're on the left and I'm on the right.
Oh God, I
Hmm.
gotta share my screen to you. What am I doing?
I don't
Oh,
know.
that's why it's different.
Did
I
you just.
didn't share my screen,
Okay.
and now it should push me to the left because I'm the sharing something.
There you go.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
I something was way off. Okay.
Yeah, me being an
Jeez.
idiot. Hi, Blue Rose.
Hey, Blue. What does she want? A chocolate what?
Now I
A
want
chocolate candy
chocolate.
bar. Is that a chocolate candy bar?
Now I want chocolate. And then the emoji for candy bar and a crying face.
Okay. Uh, you know what? I didn't get any chocolate. In fact, I should mute and holler before I forget
I
to
didn't
tell
get
Eric
jack
where.
shit of anything from Easter because my happy ass stayed home. And yeah, the kids got something candy wise, and I'm sure Danny has pilfered candy from people from all over the place. But no, I didn't even go for dinner. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just stayed home and chilled.
Yeah, we had a last minute change in plans where the family did not get together, and so we ended up. Uh, I'm not lying. EJ made a smoked ham and a ham in the oven that was enough to probably feed 50 people.
Mm-hmm.
I told Eric we're going to be eating ham through next week.
Well, I suggested
And
something about the ham and the cheesy potato things, making like a
yes, we're
cheesy
going to do.
potato casserole. You said there
Yeah,
wouldn't
we're
be
going to.
enough
Yeah.
ham, but turns out you got enough
Oh,
after all.
we. There's
You
more than
you
enough
should not
ham.
have told me there wasn't going to be enough in advance, and then maybe he would have had a smaller ham.
But you know what they did do? In fact, I forgot to holler at them today when they took me to the doctor's is they absconded with that frickin' little teeny tiny $10 that used to be really big cheesecake from Walmart that is now the size probably of a Big Mac. It's a
Yeah,
little bit bigger than that. I'm being a little dramatic,
it's
but
like an
I'm
eight
not
inch. It's like an 8 inch diameter cake, isn't it? Like barely
in
bigger than a
around
Big
there.
Mac.
Barely. Yeah, barely. Uh,
Yeah,
says,
most.
says it
I've
serves
always had
eight.
like the 10 to 12 inch cheesecakes, like the
Uh-huh.
big
Yeah,
ones.
like, yes, like get it now, I guess, at Costco or Sam's Club.
Oh, those are
Um,
even small. But like I
no,
quit getting them there too.
no, Blue, I didn't get any cheesecake either. Um, I forgot about that until just now, and I was in the car with the two of them. Yeah, uh-huh. So no cheesecake. So we had that, and then I was I wanted to make homemade cheese potatoes, right? And EJ was like, "No, I've been craving the box kind, the dehydrated ones that are real." He goes, "I don't know why, but that's what I want." So when I got my order delivered, there was not 5 boxes. There were 5 bags of instant cheese potatoes. Mashed
Uh
potatoes
huh.
make mashed potatoes. Okay. So I sent Eric and Jake that's date night for them on Saturdays. They went out and they went to Walmart. I said, buy the box cheese potatoes. He knew exactly what to look for. I said, not the scalloped, but the cheese ones. They didn't have them.
So he did what Walmart
He
did?
came back with he came back with 5 bags of the same cheese mashed potatoes that I originally had. So I had 10 bags of this instant cheese mashed potatoes. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So then I get a phone call. Mom, make regular mashed potatoes and make Jake a baked potato because he's not going to eat it. Well, Eric ended up buying mac and cheese too. So I said, I'll just make regular mashed potatoes. And I sent up the cheesy ones up to EJ and I sent up like 4 bags. I said, I want you to make these and make it like into a casserole thing. Like maybe put maple syrup and butter or, like doctor it up. You know what I mean? Like, you want to know what he did? He, he took regular instant mashed potatoes and mixed it with the cheesy instant mashed potatoes. So it was just mashed potatoes that looked like a light color orange. I'm telling you, it was all I have is I've had potatoes for breakfast, for lunch, for breakfast and lunch. I think they're all gone. Uh
But you still have more you can make.
oh yeah, I think I have 6 bags left. Yeah. So we're gonna have ham and cheese potatoes and ham and cheese potatoes. I'm telling you.
So we can fix the starter tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Okay, you could have texted me that.
I forgot the ibuprofen was in my pocket in my coat. I mean, my.
Okay, so take some Motrin.
No, my pants.
Oh, go.
I washed them.
You washed them? Well, get some more ibuprofen and just throw those out when you find them. Sorry.
You're good. It's good.
Oh my God, today has been one wild cluster flipping nuts day. Okay, it's been crazy. So, yeah, you got plenty of potatoes.
Right. And then so today, and we thank everybody for joining us later in the day. I got my face, the back of my head, my neck, and the top of my shoulders shot up today. And when I was fine, but I failed to. The appointment was supposed to be at 10:30. They didn't start till like 11ish, and I failed to eat breakfast. And so by the time I left, I was feeling like kind of on the sick side. And we stopped and got something to eat, and they had to run an errand, so we got home later. Because I called Crazy B right from the doctors and said, "Oh, I don't know if 3 o'clock's going to be good. I am not feeling too swift." And so I came home, took meds, put some ice on it, but I'm feeling kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. If my head doesn't fall off tonight, it's never going to fall off.
Well,
So
given it
this is going to
constricts
be,
things and makes them tighten up, you're more likely to have a
yes.
shrunken head than a head falling off.
I don't wonder if he touched my brain at all. That's
Your
always
brain will
fun.
probably be the same size. It's just the scalp and
Yeah,
everything is
just the scalp and
constricting.
all that. Yeah. Well, the goal is to, try to pull this whole left side up and back to the right. Like I couldn't lean right. I have to lean left, even though I'm,
Yeah.
conservative. I got to fucking lean to the right, to the left. But hopefully, things will loosen up and be able to get pulled back into alignment. So they actually scheduled me out every 3 months up and through next year. So uh, I had to take the appointments whenever the schedule permits, and it's got to be, relatively close so that we can try to keep things on track. And we'll know in a week whether I should start seeing some effects from it. And then as time goes on, it'll get better and then they'll wear off and they'll need to be redone. So hopefully, you know, it'll be done. And then so Jake went with us, and he went as my caretaker, and so that was kind of interesting. I'm gonna kill them. They're bothering me already. Uh Good God. Oh, I'm yeah, he finally real he's still calling. I'm on the podcast. Hey baby, what you doing? Hi baby. I gotta go. I gotta go. Nene, I saw it, EJ. I'm on my podcast.
Buy it for me right now, and I'll give you the money on payday.
I'll see.
Let
Not
me
right this
mute
second
you.
when I'm done.
Let me mute
Goodbye.
you.
So can mine. Where am I? I
Okay,
don't
I
even
got
know.
you. I unmuted you.
Thank you. I don't
I
care.
was trying to rush to find the mute button fast enough. I couldn't get
Don't
it.
worry. It's all good. You know what? What the heck? You know what I mean? Like, what is wrong with people? Do they not know how to tell time? No.
You want to seriously? People tell time. I was told by Danny and Phil they'd be back in the morning. They didn't show up till 1 o'clock this afternoon, and then decided that it was a good time to start working on the starter. And by that point, I could have already had that son of a bitch cleaned. But no, it wasn't till 2 o'clock when they couldn't get the rest of the starter off that I finally demanded the part be brought in to me with the carburetor cleaner and the brake cleaner, so I could clean the starter that they couldn't do from like Phil's under the Escalade. Danny's standing outside handing him tools. He could be cleaning the part in the process of handing tools, when needed. No, that's just uncalled for. So yeah, timing and communication absolutely sucks in my household.
Uh,
It sucks.
it's
They're 5 feet
frustrating.
apart from each other and they still can't do two separate projects at the same time.
It's crazy.
And crazy is an understatement. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what?
My family can physically see me on the computer with my headset and the microphone. They know it's the same time. I'm being told about Motrin being thrown into the washing machine, and they got a part off the starter, which is something you could
Yeah,
have texted me on the
that's
phone, and I could read and acknowledge without interrupting the show. But
yeah. That's wait. That's why I said I didn't care if you muted me. At this point, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm
I get
tired
it.
of it.
I get it. I get it. That's why I've given up telling my family. My family can walk in and see me. Yours are at least, down across the driveway a bit. They are not looking in on you. They have to
Right,
walk in
right.
my room and stand there in front of me and the computer and see all of this and still deem it's an appropriate time to tell me all these things.
I mean, like, what? I hope everybody else out there has the same problem.
I think
You know
that
what I
makes
mean?
us
Like,
more realistic and down to relatable Earth than like even our politicians are. Because yeah, family interrupts.
oh my gosh, you know?
I would
I
put
just,
money that
and
Blue
then wait.
absolutely knows exactly what we're talking about with all the
Yeah,
nieces and nephews.
yeah. I mean, and then I'm going to have to mute myself so I can scream 4 rooms away. Let the dog out. Because the dog's in there. He got
And
to come
what's
four
funny
rooms in.
is they'll be scrolling their phones, and you could call or text them, and they still won't
Oh, yeah,
answer. And they're on their phone.
exactly.
You text them, they are
Yep,
on their phone, and they still disregard what you texted them.
exactly. Yes, ma'am.
I've got family like that too.
Yeah.
But when I need
And then,
something done, nope, forget it. They
yep,
can't. Nope, I can't
can't get a
interrupt what they're
drink.
doing. How often? Like,
Yep,
what? Danny's sleeping 8+ hours when he gets off of work, and he's pretty much laying
yep.
in bed. Nothing ever gets done around the house, and I'm the one who's having to holler and sound like a crazy bitch, demanding things get done. Yeah. Same with my kids. I holler at them. I've told my son for 4 days to go start some kind of dishes. It took over a week to get the living room. No, it took 3 weeks to get the living room swept. It's not that hard. Sweep. Nope. Nope. And nope. before it finally got done. So,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I resort to violence at that point.
Blue Rose, do you remember the C-19 days? So many kids. OMG.
Oh no! What will you ever do?
Go do something productive.
I
How's
did.
that?
I washed everyone's dishes.
Did you wash all the dishes?
No, because all is all.
No. Enough for everyone to eat is not the same as all the dishes. See what I go through?
I mean, we're trying to be professional here. Maybe we do need to have an in studio place. You know what I mean? Where we get to leave the house. An ambulance picks us. Wait. An ambulance picks both of us up. We go into the office. Wheel in the hospital bed or the wheelchair or whatever. Have a desk that slides back and forth. Then when we go live, all we got to worry about is fucking up our language. You know what I mean? That we can't speak
We
English.
stay there for the week
That's
and then
all.
go
And then,
home on the weekends?
yeah, there you go. Yeah, go back. Well, yeah, that we'd be politicians. Maybe we need to be. Maybe we need to run for Congress.
I can't
Right?
do that kind of traveling anymore,
Yeah, I
even in a
know.
proper bed. And
I know.
yeah,
I couldn't.
but again, you see so many of these people on different YouTube channels and stuff, and it's mostly pets interrupting them, very rarely other people.
Right.
But you gotta wonder who they have to keep the kids in check. And mind you, my kids are old enough to know better. They're in their
Yeah.
20s.
Reese's has no more chocolate.
My kids are in their 20s and they should know better. My
Right.
daughter's better about it than my son and my ex-husband. And yeah, referring to him as a kid, not the nicest thing to do, but sometimes I feel like the only mature adult in the house.
Right.
So I don't know
I hear you.
how that should be taken. But I think that's with anyone who's been in a relationship of any kind for more than a few years. Especially when
I'm
you think
telling you.
that Danny and I have known each other since I was like 16. And we're now however many years down the road from there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think just knowing someone that long, you get comfortable and you know them well enough that you can call out their BS.
Right.
Oh, God, excuse me. Sneezed.
Bless you.
What state you doing the show in, though? Blue Rose?
So I'm going south. I'm going warm. So
I,
that means that I would only come home like once or twice a month, perhaps.
or just come back for summer and then stay the winters
Yeah,
down
that's
here.
true. That's true. I could do that.
You could be like all the politicians. You know what? You could do your voting from on the ocean in a yacht.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yep.
an option.
Yeah, it would be.
We could just get a yacht and hang out in a
Yeah, the
yacht
7 days.
and
There we
have our
go.
meds flighted out to us, or have
Yep.
someone find us along the path and bring it out to
Uh-huh.
us.
Yep. Or
Airdrop
take
it.
enough for. Yep. Yeah, it's not like our doctors are fucking doing anything for us. Just keep our
Actually,
meds
mine
going,
are
right?
doing pretty decent, at least. Now
Yeah.
that we're heading in the right direction, now the next step is what to do from there. We're getting that
Right.
results and stuff back. So, mine, give it about 6 months to a year, and then it'll be a more tapered. Now it's just, maintenance control from there. So,
Right.
yeah, I could absolutely see just living on a yacht and going from there.
Be kind of hard getting up and down though in a wheelchair.
And it is really iffy when it comes to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That tends to be
You'd
an
have to
issue.
talk to Elon about getting Starlink, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad
Yeah,
system. However, it is expensive to start up
Well,
getting the
they
system.
they just dropped it in our area, and they're offering a special of $35 a month till you look at
What it
how.
is after that
Oh,
special runs out, and you're looking at
Well,
$160 a month.
well, no, it only goes up to 50, but you're at a slow, what's it called, BP rate.
Yeah.
So to get anything higher, to get the, faster internet speed, you're looking at $120 a month.
Yeah.
But with that, they offer, what would be cool about it is they offer you a travel unit with it. So if you're in your car, or like if you're
Camping.
at camp or anywhere, yeah, that would be really cool to, I guess in that respect it'd be worthwhile. I don't know, but it's still it's too far odd priced.
Mm-hmm. I have moderately decent internet for $50 a month.
Yeah,
I
that's what
can't
we're
be too mad
paying.
about it.
Yeah, that's what we're paying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got out of I forget what Verizon was charging us.
An
And
arm and a leg and your firstborn.
uh-huh. Yeah, we ditched them after 31 years, and we didn't even get a kick your ass out of the door, thank God you're gone from them.
No, they don't
And
care anymore.
that,
They have enough
yeah,
other
that's
people
the
who will
way.
pick it up and
Yep,
enough
yep.
businesses using them.
hmm But that's
Mm-hmm.
a damn shame, really, when you talk about customer service, or taking care of long-term people. And again, I feel like the United States that I've supported Verizon, which started out as Bell Telephone,
Mm-hmm.
and we stayed with them from the time they started, through all these years. And I feel like we just gave, and basically, I don't know what phones we gave to illegals. I'm sure every single plan
Oh, those were
pitched
the
in, but
Obama phones. The iPhones from
right.
Obama phones. You remember those?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but I wonder what Biden gave them.
The same thing. Biden's
Oh,
the
the same
leftover
thing.
Obama phones that none of the Americans got to actually get
There you go.
because half of us
So,
don't qualify for anything.
exactly. So we just funded them. That's all.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Makes
Mhm.
sense.
And when you find out that these smaller companies, like a Cricket,
I like straight
Straight
talk.
Talk, there is, I mean, a lot of them, and everybody should be looking at this stuff. They're all using the same
And they're
towers. So when
non-contract. They are literally month to
correct,
month.
hmm
And
you're not locked in.
we pay I think it's we pay $110 for 4 lines of unlimited talk. We have limited hotspot, but we rarely go anywhere where there isn't Wi-Fi anymore these
Right, right,
days. So it
right,
doesn't really matter for us. But like when like the power goes down or something, we at least have a hotspot we can use to communicate online because cell reception sometimes sucks over here. But that's not
right.
the carrier's problem. That's our town is in the middle of fucking nowhere, and there is not shit for cell towers. I mean, you can
Totally.
have the main company, you could have the main cell companies, and it still sucks to get service out here. All of the good ones.
Yeah.
So, but we use Straight Talk. We've gone to Michigan and back with those. We have very few dead zones. We just sometimes have really crappy reception, but we still get reception. So, it's worth it in my book to save. Because, I mean, 4 lines for how much at T Mobile? It's what, $50, $60 a line?
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I know it's close to that at Verizon. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one reason Verizon charges so much though is they do include things like, what did we get with them? We got Disney,
Oh, so
Paramount,
does,
like
yeah,
we got a
Cricket does that. Cricket allows
do they really?
HBO. Each
Okay.
each carrier has like their own little one they're paired up with.
Plan. Right,
Yes,
right.
and yeah, they're Straight Talk is none of that nonsense. No extras. Because believe it or not, you're not getting it for free. It's tacked on in your bill, and they make it look
Correct.
like it's free when it's really not.
Right. Right. You're just paying the higher monthly premium.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's
So
like
everybody
yeah.
should look at, yeah. So things that you think that there's, what is that other one? There's a Patriot one.
Oh, the Patriot
Patriot
Mobile.
something, is it Patriot Mobile? And then
Yeah.
there's one for AAA, I think has one, and so does What's the one that is for seniors?
I think it is
Yeah, I
senior
can.
something or another.
There's a what's the program for senior citizens?
Medicare?
What the hell? No. It's a it's a company. I can't think. I'll think of it. It'll pop up. But anyway, they have a program as well. So all I'm suggesting is what we're
Shop around.
suggesting is go out and look at this. And so these places that are at the cheaper price that you think, oh my gosh, they're cheap, and we're not going to get as good service if we stay with a AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, whatever that's charging higher. They're all using the same towers.
Uh-huh.
And determine where your traveling needs are, and you just might say, oh, people, yeah, I call them people, are on the table. Hold on, get down off of there. See, we've had the spouse, pretty soon the grandchild will be in. The dog hasn't been in yet. But he's over there snoring. The 2 cats will be in. He'll be up shortly. He'll have to pee. Then I'll have to holler. Then Eric and Jake will be in there fighting, and I'll have to holler. Please help us. We need help. Send money. And send anybody. We'll even take the white coats at this point.
White coats and Thorazine.
Just help. Help us. Help us. I mean, shit, if AOC can be on ketamine, we could be on something.
Yeah, she used tax dollars for that shit, didn't she?
19 grand she did. For leadership and training. We need some training.
Mind-altering substances are needed for leadership training?
Yep.
Wow. I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah, I just read something from last year. I don't really follow her, but I was following a lead for a story for us, and I came across an article where when Lady Gaga was filming A Star Is Born, she took lithium the whole time.
Well, that's also a really strong antidepressant that people have been using for like 70 years.
Right. She denied she was depressed, though. So
then why else would you fucking take lithium?
Because if you've seen the movie, and I have followed A Star Is Born from the very original all the way through the remakes, Barbara Streisand, whoever else, and then her. She went from that kind of like upbeat, popish kind of thing to that darker, depressed kind of state thing. So I don't know if
it's not smart to take lithium without good reason. That is a heavy metal that can cause serious side effects.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you'd admit to shit like this, but whatever.
Yeah, they don't even allow you to take it legally without a good reason. You can't get that.
Well, but we're not also millionaires either, or billionaires. You know what I mean?
It's stupid to take something like that. Hey, JJ.
Yeah. Hey, JJ.
Yeah, that would be stupid to take unnecessarily.
Yep. Right. So.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know.
People running their mouths. You're all right, Brooklyn. He's running his mouth.
Shut up.
She wasn't saying anything. She just asked to get a drink, and I said yes. You're the one saying, I'm going to tell your dad, blah, blah, blah. Big tattletale over there. Oh, I thought you said, I'm going to tell your dad.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, both of you. Out. Shoot. Get. Scoot him. No bouncing off the walls. That is caffeine.
I'm not.
Sorry.
No more for tonight, though.
Oh, Lordy.
Yep, see, this is what we're talking about.
Well,
maybe today's show should have just... Well, maybe today's show should be called Interruption Day. How about that?
Well, she got some. Yeah, I fed her.
Hold on. It's just life, but If you want, we can go ahead and start the stuff.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, let's get started.
Let me pull
And
that up.
actually, this kind of all got changed around in the last half hour, 45 minutes, because Trump backed down.
He didn't back down. He got
Well,
to a
he
double-sided
gave
ceasefire.
2 weeks, right?
2-week double-sided ceasefire. That means Israel and America stops, and Iran isn't allowed to lob whatever the fuck they feel like all over the place.
Okay. So this was from 30. Trump said the following: a whole civilization to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran. What do you think, Crazy B?
I think it's long overdue for him to have threatened them in a way that's going to make them hurt. I mean, they were so scared they actually told the women and children to form a human chain around their electrical facilities.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you, JJ. That's what it's called. Consumer cellular. Thank you. What do you think of? Well, I think we have articles on it or videos. What do you think before we even get into that off the top of your head? First off, what do you think the American people think about it? The statement.
Oh, I'm sure they're clutching their pearls, whining, crying, screaming, hollering, being idiots.
Well, you said you were dealing with some of that though, right? With some people? Or was it what you were
no, it's
reading?
what I read earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just pearl clutching and exaggerating and making it sound like Trump's gonna nuke them. Did he use the word nuke anywhere in that statement?
Okay.
Ever heard the saying, I'm gonna bomb you back to the Stone Age? That usually implies taking out infrastructure like, I don't know, electrical, internet, water, bridges, roads.
Right. Okay, so then what do you think that the rest of the world has to say?
Oh, they're probably doing the same thing. Anything to make Trump look bad. And yeah,
And
he could have worded this a million times better. But it wouldn't have been as threatening to Iran, and they wouldn't have been concerned about a nuke being used against them. But they're more than glad to use nukes against others if they ever get them.
Right. As well as China, Russia. Who ultimately is going to be the controller of all this. This goes back to that whole discussion we've had about is the United States the police of the world? If they would have gotten nukes, do you think Russia and China and the rest of the Middle East would have been happy about it?
Most of the Middle East would love to see Iran gone, by the way.
Okay.
Not just Israel. Most.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you got next then?
Hold on one second. I'm sending you a message.
Okay.
I
think I might know the answer because it's Rumble.
Yeah, Rumble shows the Rumble stuff, but not the YouTube stuff. It just shows what the wording. Yeah, I'm having a day. I can't type.
Thank you. I thought that might be it, but I
can't
thought
type.
of that after I I thought of it after I saw what transpired. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, people. So this was as of this morning. And I didn't realize this, but there is a probe to snare the Iran rescue leaker underway as Trump threatens to jail them for imperiling an arduous operation. So somebody in the White House leaked to Iran about the operation and about the missing airmen, and he is furious.
Well, I know the missing
So let's
airman
see.
used his GPS locator thingy. That shows up to Iran as well as the U.S. and allies and enemies alike.
Right,
I don't.
but let's let's read first and we'll
Yeah,
go
I'm
from there.
confused about how that works because initially I was under the understanding that after the guy ejected from the plane and realized he wasn't anywhere near his buddy, the pilot, he had to turn on his locator.
Okay, why don't we hit the video with Trump?
Is that a current one for this or
It
not
says he called out the media. Let's see if this is it.
if it'll let me.
Which will hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker. And talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information. So whoever it was, we think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And we know who, and you know who we're talking about. There's some things you can't do because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land that was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award. So when you add that to it, but we have to find that leaker because that's a sick person. Probably didn't realize the extent of how bad it was. I can't imagine that the person did, but we're going to find out. It's national security. And the person that did the story will go to jail if he doesn't say. And that doesn't last long. And I think everybody would understand it. They put this mission at great risk. They put that man at great risk, and they put the hundreds of people that went in looking for him because everyone now knows that we're going in. Over the past 37 days, America's armed forces have carried out more than 10,000 combat flights over Iran, unheard of, striking more than 13,000 targets. The F-15 we lost last week was the first manned aircraft downed by the enemy in this entire operation with thousands and thousands of flights. They got lucky. It was a lucky hit. You know, eventually you get lucky. But we got lucky, too, because we got both of them back. But it's a record that is unparalleled in the history of military air operations. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's such an honor to be involved with it. We were up late at night, and then we were waiting for those contingent planes to come in, and we say, come on, let's go, get in, because they're waiting out on this farm without a runway with wet, crummy soil, sand, mostly sand, wet sand, and it eats planes alive. And we're waiting and we're saying, I hope that one can land and take off. And they came in like magic. Boom, 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 one after another. It was like genius. So impressed by that. Because we were a little concerned. We said, boy, if they don't get in and get up fast, we're sitting in them. And that's called Iran Prime, right, General? That's where the whole bet is. And here we are sitting there waiting for a plane. But they came in so fast and so hard, and these guys knew exactly what to do. Let's go. Come on. Get in. Let's go. Blah. They came one right after another, not at the same time. They don't want to come at the same time. They had to come right after each other. They didn't have any room. There was barely any room to land. Tiny little patch of very wet earth and sand. So I'm so proud of the people that I have standing up here with me and many others that worked. I mean, so many. Steve Witkoff's over here. He's doing fantastically. Jared Kushner. But the people that are here, the job they did is amazing.
Okay, he failed to mention, I don't know if maybe they just cut it out, but a couple of the planes did get stuck, and they had to blow the sons of bitches up before they could leave, and they had to send in a helicopter to get the people out.
To pick them up, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody paid attention to the scrolled piece on the bottom, but it talked about he had hidden a crevice at the base of a mountain. They picked him up at the base of a mountain, and the CIA put forward an operation to convince them that we had recovered both pilots, and that's how they kind of got around that. What I kind of find fascinating about all this is the power that has been, the amount of bombs and planes that have carried out these missions and the firepower behind it
Mm-hmm.
to take them on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why didn't they just blow up the electrical grid to begin with, or take something to
that's a
begin
last
with?
resort situation. You only do that as a last resort, because you don't want to leave the civilians without electricity and running water unless you have no choice.
Well, but the threat is to annihilate all of them?
Well, we already wiped out their ability to make nukes. We already did that. At this point, it was quit killing your own people in retaliation and quit lobbing missiles at everyone around you.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, okay, well, if you guys stop lobbing missiles at people and all these other things, we'll go ahead and stop blowing up your shit.
Okay, so the other people would be who that they're lobbying these missiles at?
Oh, the
Israel?
UAE, Israel,
Okay.
Yemen, Jordan, and I believe Saudi Arabia.
Okay, and they're where in this conflict? Their support is where?
Their support was fuck Iran. They never really liked the people, but they weren't exactly keen on helping America either.
Exactly. And so we're worried about them cause why?
Because now they want our help, and they probably have oil and other shit that we can benefit from.
Exactly. Exactly.
It depends on which way you look at it.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, we've never really had a big issue with some of these countries. We were just,
Right.
Yep, to each his own, and to each his own. We'll help you with this type of thing, and maybe you can help us with that. No real alliance of any kind. But, I mean, we've traded with the Middle East countries various times. So we never really had an alliance to any of those countries either. So who are they to depend on us? And why should we help them? Because we have a mutually serious problem, these motherfuckers, and most of the Middle East don't have the fighting power to take out Iran.
Fight them off. Right. So
it's a mutual help thing.
Where's the UK at?
Oh, UK's they're already taken over. They're long gone. They're a Muslim country. That was clear on Easter Sunday. They're a Muslim country
And
now.
explain yourself by that.
Oh, the darling
Oh, I know the answer.
King
Yeah, I
Charles
know
and
the
his
answer.
son both basically told Christians to fuck off and accept Islam in the country or go to hell. Putting it in my paraphrasing, but same statement.
Uh-huh.
Is England's lost?
Yeah. And I've heard rumors. I don't know how true they are. I heard that he converted to Islam.
He can't publicly do it because he has to be a Protestant until they can change the laws.
Right. Which may happen. Who knows? The way things are going. If you listen to any of their conversations in their parliament, wow.
They're pretty much lost. Like I said, they're lost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We can write them off, just like France and Germany. Well, Germany's starting to fight back, but too little too late.
Yeah.
And many of the other European countries that are literally now Islamic states because we gotta help everyone. Yes. How'd that go? How'd that turn out for you?
Yeah, I watched a video. I have it somewhere for us to cover, but I watched a video where they're now coming for Macron. And they're they want his head.
And Macron's bending over, capitulating, and they still want his head.
Oh yeah, he gave in to everything, but now they're coming for him because ultimately, you give in far enough,
they'll come in.
Once they reach that, that's right, and he's going to be out one way or another.
Yep, and they are going to take over that country completely. Sorry, France, it was nice while you had baguettes and the Eiffel Tower, but peace out. How do you say it in Arabic? Because they're not going to be speaking French anymore. I think we should learn how to at least say peace out in Arabic to them.
I mean, I had a laugh. I told you I wanted to do a show called "Where Did All the Mexicans Go?" Because we haven't covered anything about anybody from Mexico or South America.
Oh, that shit's still going on. It's just
I know it is.
Don't get it in the news because right now Trump bad.
Right. However, this whole issue of Islam taking over the world, all of Europe, all of the countries in Europe, and what we're dealing with from east to west coast to north to south, right? That's all that's been in the news. We don't know anything else that's going on. And we'll be giving you some info, hopefully, in the next couple weeks. We started doing some research.
But national news is very limited to always Trump bad. You got to look at the different local newses for those regions if you want to know anything. Evidently, Ron DeSantis today passed a ban on Sharia law in Florida.
Oh, cool.
Most people wouldn't know that's going on because Trump bad, threatening Middle East. He's going to nuke them and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, Mexicans are in Texas. Well, part of it.
They're going to try to take Texas back. We don't know it, but that's the plan.
Actually, they mostly wanted they've always wanted California. Because according to, from what I've been told, is they are taught that California is technically Mexico and America stole it from them, but none of that makes sense. I don't know who 370Z is for fun, but the price of a barrel of crude oil is dropping fast, down negative 15.2% so far today alone. Oh, because there's a ceasefire. Right. Got it.
And welcome. Yeah, welcome 37 Oz. Oh, that's 37 Oz is for fun.
Oh, I thought it was 370Z because I'm thinking of the cars, like the 280ZX, from, was it Nissan?
It could be interesting. Is it a O?
I think of a car model. I think of car models when I see stuff like that. So
yeah, I think it's a zero. Yeah, I think it's a zero now that I look at it closer. Welcome. Thank you for joining the craziness today. Yeah. So
I don't know. I'm a goofball and I'm tired. So
So the Mexicans and the rest of South America are probably going to try to take Texas and California, and we don't know it. why we're dealing with all of this.
I don't
So,
know. We've
another
got a good
question I-
set. We got a pretty good chunk of submarines, and we have some naval presence in the Gulf of
Yeah.
America, aka Mexico, whatever you want to call it. We actually have our military helping Mexico to keep the cartels in check, but only specific cartels, not
Yeah.
the ones that are tied to the president. Oh, allegedly tied to the president. Let me correct that. Allegedly.
Mhm.
And I'm holding up air quotes in a
Right.
very sarcastic fashion, eye rolling
Right.
at the same time because you guys can't see me. So her cartels are off touch, but off limits, do not touch, but the other ones absolutely take them out.
Right.
Funny how that works.
So I wanted to know if it would be appropriate for me to now be considered radically Islamic phobic.
Islamophobic is that fake word that they put
Yeah,
out? Yeah.
I don't know. Is that what I am now?
I don't know. I think you have.
I don't know.
Here's the thing: the part of a phobia is it's an irrational fear. My irrational fear of eight-legged spawns of Satan that hide in the corners is not the same as a rational, logical fear of a religion that literally claims we're the devil.
Right. Yeah. So I guess that's okay. That's not the case because if
Hence
we
the
apply it
difference
to
between phobia
Right.
and logical fear.
there we go. Okay, gotcha. Because switch that over
Oh,
to
I was
am
right.
of all
A
bugs.
Nissan Sports
yeah.
Roadster. Sorry.
Okay, cool. There you go. Here, I don't have my glasses on. I can't read.
Sorry, it is a
I'm talking to you.
370Z.
Yeah.
And like I said,
There you
I
go.
know the 280ZX because that's my ex-husband's favorite car. So, yeah.
There you go. Well, welcome. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Yes, it is.
Please don't forget to like. Please at least don't forget to like this video. We need
Yeah.
all the help we can get. So,
And you're not Islamophobic. You have a very rational reason to not trust that religion or people of it. You know, again, I wouldn't blanket all people who claim to be Muslim, even though they don't practice to a T, as a radical Islamic nut job.
Correct. That's what we're
But
concerned
it's a
about,
good reason
is radical.
to double look in this circumstance. It's like if you hear the bells in a bank ringing as you're walking by, you're going to either duck out of the way or get the hell out of there because you assume there's a bank robber on his way out.
Right.
Same concept.
And so we've been on this, and we might take a little short break. We have we have to get back to China. I mean, we have the whole China program.
Did you hear China's bulldozing a bunch of mosques and forcing Muslim people there to sit in dance halls and where there's alcohol? And well, I don't agree to forcing them to eat pork and drink alcohol. Right. They're kind of blanketing everyone as a bad person. And again, we have the logical wherewithal to differentiate those who are wanting to kill us versus not. The ones who are just peacefully running their store and willing to sell you whatever alcohol or vice you want. There is a difference. Versus the people who are smashing guitars because you can't play music. It's from the devil. And it's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? So China's taking it to an extreme. And this all started when the Uyghurs actually got shoved into the concentration camps. Because Uyghur is a version of Chinese people who believe in Islam. In case you guys don't know, I'm hesitant on how I say this because I want to make sure I'm getting it right. And so, again, I can understand why China does not want religion in China because the government is your God and savior.
God, exactly.
It's the same thing in North Korea. It was the same thing in various other countries where communism takes over. Except Russia. Surprisingly, Russians are really religious. Make that make sense, but...
Well, you go and murder somebody, you go to church on Sunday, I'm absolved of all my sin, and then Monday
so the Italian mafia?
Yeah, kind of like that, right? You kill somebody on Saturday, Sunday you get absolved, you go to confession, Monday you're back at work.
Yeah,
right?
Sounds like the mafia. Okay.
Right.
And again, the mafia and
all
the Russians have their own mob too, so...
right.
But, yeah.
All right. What you got next?
One more piece, and that is the current temporary ceasefire spelled out thing.
Okay, so breaking news. Peace has prevailed. President Trump has announced a 2-week suspension of bombing Iran, contingent on Iran opening the Strait of Hormuz. Thank the Lord. Trump. Go ahead.
Okay. Peace has prevailed, but only if they open the Strait of Hormuz will there be a 2-week suspension. Have they opened the Strait of Hormuz yet?
No, but they have till like what?
Does it say in here?
23 hours and 59 seconds for 2 weeks. I mean, they could go to the end, right? They could go till next Tuesday or next Monday night. What's today? Wednesday. No, next Tuesday. They could go to the, till the balls to the walls, absolute deadline, and then open it up. You know what I mean? If Trump can play the game.
That's not what he's
right?
saying. He said immediate and safe opening. We'll see if this actually, will they have it opened, or is this real? Is my next question.
Let
me see what I can find while you're reading that.
Okay. Okay, so Trump, Nick usually isn't off his target, but let's see. Based on conversations with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran and subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. They're kind of, they don't jive. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. Almost all of the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America, as President and also representing the countries of the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-term problem closed to resolution. Thank you very much to your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump.
Now, again, this doesn't jive because, we'll cease bombing if you don't open the Strait of Hormuz. We'll stop for 2 weeks if you open the strait. But from what I'm seeing, there's nothing about how long they have to get the strait opened up before that takes effect.
But it's saying, that they don't jive. He's saying open it immediately, but he's giving them 2-week extension. Okay, and what's 37 saying here, Crazy B?
He says, survey conducted in 2025 by Netherlands-based institute found that the majority of Iranians would vote for a regime change. Leader Ali Khamenei polled at 9%, with 70% for individual freedom and human rights.
You know what's interesting, 37? If you can direct us to that survey, either drop it in the chat here, or if you haven't done so already, you'll see the bot go by. Feel free to join our Discord, and you could drop it there if you'd prefer. Because I'd like to see that survey. Because the one thing I think that the information isn't getting out to the American people is this type of information. All we're hearing is Trump is off his rocker. He needs medicated. We need to impeach him.
Okay.
Wait till you see some. Yeah.
Fucking CBS won't let me read the goddamn article.
Okay.
I have my fucking you know what the thing is. Yeah, my ad blocker off,
Yeah.
but it still tells me I can't use their website because I have an ad blocker on, but I have it off for their website. Their website is the exception. Nope, they're being dickheads. So let me see. Because from what it was saying, is that Trump has warned Iran's rulers that if they don't open the Strait of Hormuz by shipping to all shipping traffic by 8 p.m. tonight, he will order all kinds of issues. If he opens it, then the 2-week ceasefire takes effect. So
Oh,
technically,
thanks.
I don't think it says safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz will be allowed for 2 weeks. Iran's foreign ministry says, according to NBC News. So okay, maybe but they still have to get it open before tonight. Here I can bring this over so
Yeah.
y'all can see it too.
Thanks, 37, if you don't mind us calling you that. Thank you for the article. We'll take a look at that. JJ, thank you for the comment. I need that. There's retards everywhere, just not in religion. Definitely in politics.
Oops, shoot. I'm trying to grab that link without losing it. Okay. Let me put that elsewhere for the moment. Actually, here, I'll just send it to you. Sorry.
Do you want to?
Got a whole bunch
Do you
of
want to
shit.
hit play? Yeah, can you hit play on that?
1 second, and I will. Okay. I don't know if this pertains to exactly what we're talking about right now. So hold on.
BC News Special Report. Here's Tom Yamas.
And good evening. We are coming on the air with some breaking news. Just moments ago, the President of the United States announced a 2-week ceasefire with Iran. It comes just hours after the President had threatened, in his words, a whole civilization will die. The President was said to be considering striking so-called dual-use targets in Iran after an 8 p.m. deadline tonight. I want to get right to Gabe Gutierrez with the latest from the White House. Gabe, the President putting this on Truth Social and laying out a framework for a ceasefire deal.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Look, there have been a lot of fluid developments throughout this afternoon. And just a few minutes ago, as you said, the president posting that message on social media saying that he has agreed to a 2-week ceasefire subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay, so it's subject to them agreeing to accept it. And that's at 8:04 p.m. our time. That's just got put up. So is that 8:04 my time? No, it's 7:04 my time.
Eastern Standard? Yeah, so
yeah,
it should
Eastern.
be.
Yep. Daylight time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wait. Are we saying Eastern?
Yeah, it says EDT. So Eastern Daylight Time is when it was last updated.
Okay.
So,
okay.
We shall see.
He says that he's agreeing to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for those 2 weeks. He calls it a double-sided ceasefire. However, we have not heard from the Iranian regime when it comes to this proposal, but also significantly, Tom, in that Truth Social post, the president said that the U.S. had received a 10-point plan from Iran. So again, a lot of unanswered questions here about how we move forward, but this all comes after a rapid fire series of developments throughout the day.
I see it. I'm going to check my DMs.
Earlier today, he said
I just saw
that he couldn't talk about
Thank
the
you, Blue.
negotiations. They have been ongoing really throughout the day. But that message is something that the entire world had been watching. It was just a little bit more than an hour until that 8 p.m. deadline. Earlier today, the Iranian government had asked people in Iran to stand outside bridges and power plants. And now there's breaking news. That message from the president is holding off for 2 weeks.
We thank you for that. I want to get right over to Courtney Cuby. She covers the Pentagon for us. Courtney, explain to our viewers, what does this mean Iran has to do right now? What do they have to do to make sure the strait is reopened?
Yeah, at this point, it's not clear that Iran has actually agreed to reopen the strait. If you look at the Truth Social that we just got, literally minutes ago, it says it's subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing
so she called out what I saw
and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz.
Right.
He agrees to suspend bombing and attack for a period of 2 weeks. I've been speaking with U.S. officials. At this point, there is no confirmation that any ceasefire has actually begun on the U.S. side, at least, of this. And then another thing that really stood out to me in that Truth Social posting, Tom, was the president saying that the U.S. has met and exceeded its military objectives. I mean, one thing that we have learned over the last week is that Iran still has the ability to not only hold U.S. aircraft and U.S. assets over in its skies at risk, but to really continue to target regional allies. We have seen them fire off the same amount, if not more, ballistic missiles targeting civilian infrastructure in the region over the course of the last several days. They continue to fire dozens of drones every single day, Tom. They are not down and out when it comes to their conventional military.
That is right. If we can put up that Truth Social post one more time, an important last sentence there saying that this agreement is concerning a long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East, a definitive agreement there. We're going to see what happens there. This is going to conclude this NBC News special report for right now. We're going to have much more online at NBCnews.com. And for those on the East Coast, more nightly.
All right. Let me move over this most recent X post.
This is a piece of garbage, isn't it? Go ahead and hit play on that.
On this one?
Which one? No. The other one.
Oh, the X post that Blue sent over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me unmute and reverse.
Truth Social from the White House saying this.
And then we got another one, Crazy B, coming through.
Okay.
Munir of Pakistan, and wherein they requested that I hold off the destructive force being sent tonight to Iran.
Oh, I see it.
To the Islamic Republic of Iran.
You got it?
Oh, wait, no, that was me sending something to you.
Opening of the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, but I'm sending it right now.
Oh, jeez, I gotta read.
For a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning.
I believe this is a live stream.
And peace.
Oh no, it's only a minute and 24
seconds.
We received
a 10-point proposal from Iran. Believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. Almost all of the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America as president, also representing the countries of the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-term problem close to resolution. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Again, just seconds ago, before the deadline for attacks on Iran tonight, and it seems like a deal is in the making. There had been talk, Mark, all day long about maybe this was happening. How do you see this, and how?
Okay, then we got one more. Be patient. I'm updating the show notes as we're going. Be patient with me. Joys of these things going live as we are live.
Right.
Okay. Let me pause, back it up, unmuted, all the way up.
Well, the Israelis, for what they know so far with the details in this 2-week delay in the war, they're not too happy with the details, but they say it's President Trump's decision to make. The Iranian response was to fire another missile at Israel. It wasn't 5 minutes from the time that Truth Social post went up that our phones lit up with another incoming missile. This missile was intercepted over Jerusalem. The shrapnel came down. We've got no word of any injuries. It should be noted that word had gone out through the IDF that we should anticipate a lot of missile fire tonight, and they have not taken that down yet. So that's a situation right now. Sometimes we see here in the Middle East that they will fire one just to be defiant at the end, but it's also possible that word hadn't gotten out to the rocket crew. Laura?
Mike, so your view?
Well, the Israelis, for what they know so far with the details in this 2-week delay in the war, they're not too happy with the details, but they say it's President Trump's decision to make. The Iranian
just a
response was to
Crazy
fire
B.
another missile at Israel. It wasn't 5 minutes.
So that's interesting. And read some of the comments.
Why did you hang up, D? Why do you hang up?
What? No, I didn't.
You just disconnected.
I know. Very weird, huh?
The ghost.
There we go.
The ghost. I was going to say, I already responded to 370Z as fun, for fun.
Okay.
Because he had pointed out that, we have thrown 12,000 sorties and have only been hit 7 times. That is air superiority, but not quite invulnerability. And it takes me back to like World War II, Vietnam.
Right.
We had our work cut out for us when it came to the
Yeah.
Germans in World War II when it came to the flights. But
Right.
we absolutely are
Got crushed in
capable of.
Vietnam and
Well, Vietnam, it wasn't
well,
so. No, we did a lot of damage. We lost more troops on the ground than we actually did in the air.
yeah, that's what I mean, casualty wise,
But that's
right?
different than air
Casualty wise, right? Then
specific.
air wise, right? Right.
Yeah, my
And it was
my
kind
dad
of
and my
hard to have.
my uncle. Not my
Yeah.
dad, my uncle, my stepdad were Vietnam.
Yeah. Yeah. So was my uncle, and he talked about the difficulty of them being able to get planes in. It was. I don't think they had quite the capabilities we have today,
Oh,
obviously.
not even
But
close. But the fact we could hold our
yeah.
own in those circumstances, really mind blowing. Our Air Force has been pretty damn good. And to think that flying only started in 1918 with the Orville brothers?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a miracle how far we've come.
Yep. And now it's going to be all done by drones. So go figure.
Oh, we're
All
still
right, read
sending
some of
the
these.
manned people to bomb the shit out.
I know we are,
But
but it's
hopefully
going to
drones
be.
will get there.
Yeah. When you. Yeah, I've watched several drone shows that have had like 5,000, 6,000 drones attached to them.
Oh, the synchronized flying light shows?
Oh, yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are pretty wild.
Hold on, I got to mute because the dog's here. I'll be right back.
The dog loves to come to D for permission, which is so. He should know better by now, but it's adorable. But no, the drones that are used in the light shows are not the same ones that are used for bombing the living bejesus out of another country. So
no, but we have drones that can carry 2 people. They call them drones. I call them little mini helicopters, but they call them drones. And
the whole point of a drone is to not have a pilot.
I get you, but I'm just telling you that's what they call them.
Unmanned is the whole point of a drone.
Gotcha. That's what I say. I'm just telling you what they're calling them. Yeah. I guess that's how you're skirting, across the,
Oh, God.
Forget Santa Claus. We're just going to be skirting the rooftops in our little
it would
drones.
be epic to have a sleigh-shaped drone that could fly people around and drop gifts. Like, little candy canes or something across the streets. That would be pretty awesome.
Wait a second. Do you recall when we were covering LA and the fires and all of that, and what the plan is for the Olympics, and how they were going to have the drones carry up to 4 people from one place to another? Remember that? We covered those stories.
Yeah, they're working on it, but that's not good enough to, science-wise yet.
Masses. Well, they're going to use them. They're going to use
people
them.
People are going to die.
Exactly, my point. So there's going to be, if you want one, put a request in to have somebody create your sleigh, and we'll see if they can slide into the Summer Olympics.
Well, I just want to make sure it's safe before we do something that stupid.
But they're already planning. Somebody is planning that already. We got to check in to see where the status of that is.
Oh, you mean the Olympics that are never going to happen because LA is never going to be ready because they can't even get a high-speed rail in place in the 20 years they've been bitching about it. We need a high-speed rail. We need this.
The people don't even have permits to rebuild yet. What are you talking about?
I know. It ain't going to happen. It's just a way for the government to blow money to other government members and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, well, there's another Newsom project. Put that up with the high-speed rail that he had going on. Anyway, we digress. Let's check out some of these comments about Israel and that they're not happy.
Okay. I don't give a flying F what Israel has to say. As far as I'm concerned, they should be saying thank you. Okay. We've done more than enough for them, according to Nick Sorter. Oh, they're helping us too. You know, they're sending us the science for the Iron Dome so we can create one here in America. That's a pretty penny that we're basically getting for free. Um, let's
You know
assume.
what? By now, I'm going to wait. By now, if we don't know how to do one, you know what I mean? Like, really?
Well, actually, the
And what?
system that they have is very state of the art. They've come up with it, and we have such a large nation compared. I mean, Israel is the size of New Jersey. It don't take
I
much to
get that.
defend that zone. But imagine the whole
But
nation under something like that. That takes a lot more than just a one
yeah, but it isn't.
state.
Yeah, but it isn't all coming in at one time.
Have
You
you
know what I mean?
seen some of the volleys that have come into Israel?
No, no, no. I mean, it's not. The whole system is not going to come into the United States as one big umbrella dome at one
No,
time. It's going to come in piecemeal.
no, they're basically
And I'm
giving us
saying,
the blueprints for it so we can make it ourselves.
and I'm saying, after all these years, you mean nobody in the United States knew how to do that, how to build one,
Evidently
how to put one
not,
together?
or not successfully, or the copyright patent office came in, stole it from them, and said you can't produce this, like they did with that what is it,
Yeah, right.
water carburetor, the water carburetor that runs on water or whatever it is. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
the copyright and patents
Again,
office absolutely going to
again,
keep it.
again. How fucking stupid are we?
Our
Right? I
Have
mean,
you
come
seen
on.
our presidents over the last 50 years?
That's true. I'm sorry. I apologize.
We
You're right.
probably have people smart enough to do it. It's probably been told no,
Hmm.
or we don't need it. And no, forget it. We probably have the patent somewhere to a system better than Israel's buried in a patent
Exactly.
office, but nobody
Uh-huh.
knows about it because they're told to shut up and not talk about it, otherwise they'll be killed or thrown in
Yep.
jail or whatever else excuses our DOJ uses and DOD used.
Hmm.
I'm just
Yep.
saying we probably have, but
More. Yep. Just like the aliens and the
aliens are up for grabs. Why the fuck would they come pester with us little anthill bullshit?
yeah.
They got better things to do than mess with our stupidity.
Maybe that's why, mess around on the lower species, We hunt for sport. Maybe they hunt for sport. You don't know. See, we sigh at the same time. We're both. Oh,
We're
God.
both so done with the world. Like, just take us, blow us up,
I know.
whatever. I'm done. Oh. And now they're
Yeah.
like, let's assume Israel starts bombing Iran again and further escalates. Will that violate the
Yeah.
ceasefire? Iran is a separate country than us. We don't answer to
Israel.
them. They don't
I
answer
mean,
to us.
Israel.
I mean, Israel. Yeah. Do what I
Yeah.
mean that when I say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are a separate country. And it's like no different than if the Houthis over in where I think Yemen is where they're located decide to start blowing shit up again. Is that going to reflect on the Iranians?
Hmm.
I mean, at least we know Iran pays for the Houthis and the other Hamas idiots. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Check out 37's comment.
Oh, yeah. I had this pinned for a second. I'm sorry. So in World War II,
Okay.
sometimes we lost 30 to 90% of the bombers per flight during the first 2 years. My great uncle was a nose turret gunner. Ooh, of a B-24. Beautiful. Shot down, bailed out at 22,000 feet, and POW, but survived. Sounds like my grandfather. He was one of the first couple of waves that stormed Normandy, and actually he survived. He got sent to Italy and watched Mussolini's execution. I'm a history buff because of it. Yeah, we did tend to lose quite a few planes, and unfortunately, but we held our own pretty decently in the end. In 2024, we had Skull and Bones from Yale running for president, uniparty, deep state. That would be the Bushes. Um, the odds of that happening by chance, with 15 SMB members admitted per year, are astronomical. Oh, I will learn to read. So, yeah, in 2004, we had two Skull and Bones members from Yale running for president. That was Bush and who was it that year? It wasn't. Who was was running against Bush that first year?
I don't
Ross
remember.
Perot? I think it was.
Was it?
And then there was another one. I can't remember. And was it Al Gore running again too? Well, my memory is eluding me, even though I can absolutely quote World War II and Civil War era stuff.
John Kerry.
Kerry, yes.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's hard to believe that son of a bitch is still around.
Yeah.
Mr. Climate Change himself.
That's right. Bush and Kerry were the two main ones. We were screwed no matter what. That was
I just saw
like Biden and Kamala running against each other. We'd be fucked no matter what.
Yep.
Thank you, though, for popping that in there. You found it as I found it.
Yep. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it funny how things change out, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, names elude me, but historical things from way back in the frickin' day and car models, I tend to remember those more than I do people.
Yeah. So, all right, what we got next?
We have two videos two videos and then an article, I think it is. No, two videos about the Supreme Court justices.
Oh God.
Their readings. They're both like 10 minutes long. Once I cut out the nonsense.
Yeah. And if you want to cut it early, just so we get the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
After 8. So wherever you want to stop at Crazy B, just so they get the gist. We put everything in the description below for you, so you can go back and watch, reread, whatever it is you would like to. And again, if you have any questions for us directly, feel free to drop them either in YouTube or Rumble. But I highly recommend you join the Discord. You can either put it in the Discord or you can send messages directly to Crazy B or myself via Discord.
After you tell me who you are and how you know me, because I have gotten, if I get one more crypto scammer who wants to marry me, I swear to God. No. So at least let me know how you know me. Otherwise, I might not answer the request right away.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's that. Just a heads up. I'm sick of crypto scammers trying to marry me. Blue Rose knows what I'm talking about because she was there when that actually happened. I've told you about it. It was one of those wild moments, like talking to me, trying to sell me crypto. 15 minutes later, he wants to marry me. Like, what the fuck?
You should have. He might have had all the money you needed. You never know.
No.
And he's outside screaming at the top of his lungs. Why?
Nope. I'm not marrying anyone from the internet that I haven't met in person.
There you go. All right. What's up next?
All right. Oh, this one's 18 minutes. We won't have to sit through the whole 18. I promise you.
Yeah, we just need to be coupled the gist of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Justice Barrett.
Mr. Suri, when I asked if the administration intended to reinstate the metering policy, I didn't intend to suggest that it was formally moot. And it was my understanding, I just wanted to clarify it, that the injunction in this case still has continuing effect on members of the class.
You know, can you see what Amy Coney Barrett is doing here? She's taken who is the ice skating duo, the two female ice skaters back in, was it the 80s? One of them had a pipe taken
Nancy
to the other one's knee.
Kerrigan and
Justice
what's
Amy
her face?
Coney Barrett is bringing a pipe to the knee of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson here, and her ridiculous arguments about we don't even have jurisdiction over this case because it's moot because you're not currently imposing the policy. And she's just taking her out behind the woodshed, Christine Nome style.
Because it still matters. It's really moot. Administration.
Expand. The court does not need to rely on that argument. Thank you for us.
Yeah. Justice Barrett.
Mr. Suri, when I asked if the administration intended to reinstate the metering policy, I didn't intend to suggest that it was formally moot. And it was my understanding, I just wanted to clarify it, that the injunction in this case still has continuing effect on members of the class because it still matters.
That's right. There's a declaration that has continuing effect as to the whole class. There's also an individual injunction that has continuing effect as to one particular plaintiff, Beatrice Doe, whom the district court ordered us to allow into the United States, and that's an additional basis.
Now, that's a fake name if I've ever heard it. Beatrice Doe.
Yes.
Doe is usually given to people who want their last name or in general
Yeah,
name.
they want it disguised. Yeah,
Yes.
they're keeping her identity a secret.
But they
Normally you'd
also-
hear Jane Doe. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Go ahead.
also give it to bodies that are not identified and people with amnesia.
Right. Yep. Jane Doe,
John
John Doe. But now we're going with Beatrice because, why not?
Yep.
Basis for avoiding any mootness concerns.
And that's why the Ninth Circuit said it wasn't moot.
That's right, and that's presumably why the other side hasn't raised a mootness argument, and why, even though we discussed mootness in our
Mootness?
search stage papers,
That's a
the
new
court still
word.
granted review.
Thank you.
He'll
Justice
describe
Jackson?
it.
So under Atchison Hotels,
She's back. She's back. I wonder if she wants to argue mootness again. It's Justice Ketanji Jackson.
why would
Mootness in our search stage papers.
Jackson is coming back in specifically to counter the kneecapping she just took from Justice Amy Coney Barrett.
The court still granted review.
Thank you.
Justice Jackson?
so under Atchison Hotels, why wouldn't we still not reach at least the injunction? Because Mrs. Doe apparently has represented that she does not intend to return to the United States, and the injunction is specifically requiring the United States to facilitate her entry.
In the Atchison case, the plaintiff dismissed that plaintiff's claim and told the court that the plaintiff was abandoning her claim entirely and acquiesced in vacatur. There's nothing
she
like
she would have to do more, you're saying, than to say, I'm not coming back to the United States.
I think it's far too late to do any of that now, because we also have the class-wide declaration that independently keeps this case live.
Right. Let me talk about the class-wide declaration.
So here's what's happening. You see this a lot with Justice Ketanji Jackson. One of these left-wing legal organizations has fed her an argument. This happens all the time. And often the argument is pathetically weak. He can't see it. He thinks she's been fed a clever argument by legal experts. And so she's going to make that argument in open court. That's what she's going to do right now. She's going to argue again for mootness. Every other justice on this panel recognizes that there is a case in controversy here that provides jurisdiction for the U.S. Supreme Court. Only she is blind to it, because she is Justice Ketanji Jackson.
You're asking us to read about the...
Also have the class-wide declaration that independently keeps this case live.
Right. Let me talk about the class-wide declaration. You're asking us to reach the merits of whether or not metering is lawful and reverse the district court's judgment on that basis. Why isn't vacatur a permissible remedy here? I mean, I understand you'd like us to say today metering can be done, give you the okay to do it. But another way to address this, I would think, given that the district court declared a policy unlawful, even though the policy was no longer in place, and the government today is saying it has no concrete plans to reinstate it, and the district court issued this order without making any findings about whether or not a live case or controversy existed, I think one could argue that the district court at least abused its discretion by nevertheless entering this broad declaration. So it would solve your problem, I think, if the court on those grounds just vacated it.
No,
why need we get into giving you an answer on the merits of the question of whether or not metering?
Why are we going to get into it? To prevent it from happening again.
From happening. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Common sense. At least on my end, it feels like common sense.
Right.
I assume yours as well.
Yes. And so if anybody cannot read that little blurb up there. So
they
this is
can't. It's behind our chat.
Okay. So, but underneath her picture, it says asylum seekers turned away at the U.S. Mexico border. The metering policy was canceled in 2021, but the court is examining if immigrant immigration stopped on the Mexican side of the border is considered to having arrived at the U.S.
Okay, so they're sitting in Mexico, but they think they've arrived at the U.S.
Correct. Correct.
It says Mexico.
Absolutely.
That's pretty straightforward.
But that's her. She has a problem with that. What does it mean? You're arriving versus you've arrived.
Yeah.
She has an issue.
Is a very clear word. It's a past tense that your travel to this destination has ended. Yeah. It's just one of those things that frustrates me. She plays the word games to try and drag it out and confuse it.
She's Kamala of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But she's stupid.
She still doesn't know what a woman is.
Right. She couldn't answer that question. He does a really good job laying her out. So maybe in a way, Crazy Bee. Let's see how far.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what time, but he does a good job talking about, like a first semester law student knows this shit. Why doesn't she?
Okay, let's hit play. We'll get there. But this woman absolutely drives me nuts. And I'm not a lawyer. I have no law background. I just know words are not that complicated. And I'm on the autism spectrum, and words are not that complicated. So, all right.
Bring is lawful.
If you don't know, if you had any doubts about how this case is going to turn out, Justice Jackson knows how it's going to turn out. She knows she's going to lose. Trump is going to win again. That's why she's trying to find some off-ramp from the Supreme Court issuing a final adjudication on this. Let's have the lower court just vacate their order. And then we don't have a precedent from the U.S. Supreme Court that's harmful to her. Yeah, folks, I'm sorry if you're hearing the smoke detector chirp. That's on my end. That's a sound effect. That's not in your house. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I thought I heard
I
one.
generally play that when Justice Jackson is speaking or I'm talking about her speaking.
The Ninth Circuit reached the issue of mootness and issued a ruling on that issue. I think it's the first footnote in its opinion. So unless you determine that that mootness holding was wrong, there's no basis for disturbing the Ninth Circuit's decision. And on mootness, we think the Ninth Circuit got it right. This case isn't moot because we'd like to reinstate metering and we're being prevented from doing so.
But you don't have a concrete plan. I just want to make clear.
Concrete plans are necessary for standing.
For standing.
Not for mootness.
All right.
Like, how would she not know this? This is lawyering 101. First year law school, you learn about things like how does a court get a case, authority over a case in the first place. The court has to have jurisdiction and the parties have to have standing. Those are two completely different things. Jurisdiction applies to the court. Does the court have jurisdiction, legal authority to even hear the dispute? Standing is, do the parties, not the court, do the parties have reason to be before the court? This is the kind of thing I would expect to hear from someone who was pretending to be a lawyer. Like they watched a lot of Better Call Saul or they watched My Cousin Vinny.
Too much Law and Order back in the day, or was that from the 90s and the early 2000s?
Right.
Oh my God,
Right.
This is the kind of shit that drives me nuts. Like when I was watching a video from Apple, I was watching a movie or it was a series on Apple, and they had a medical scene, and they talked about something that, like, they made it sound like it was this elaborate procedure that was done in a car. And it's actually just talking about the way an artery or a vein or nerve split at like a Y junction. And I, of course, because of having medical background, I'm like, what? No, what, really? And
make it more dramatic than it is.
Yes, and that's
right.
And that's exactly what I'm feeling here. And she's acting like she knows what she's talking about, and she just sounds like a complete moron.
Well, there's one of two things. She either knows and she's, wants to support the base, support the left. So she's playing the stupid side, like Kamala did, Harris did.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
pretend I'm smarter than I'm not or stupider
playing
than I
both
am.
sides always comes back to bite you in the ass.
Exactly. Yes.
Never play both sides. You will end up dead.
She should say they're standing.
Yeah. She don't know what she's talking about is what it appears to be.
Correct.
And it's like, even, again, I get some lawyer speak is different than our standard language, but arrived is a very clear, solid context to understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
you're in one country,
or you're not
in Mexico, or you're not. You're in one or the other.
Are you sleeping on the actual borderline? Like, are you sitting up on the fence, straddling it, falling asleep?
Well, we do know that people do straddle the wall. So one leg in, one leg out. Like, do we got it? I don't know.
That's got to
take a
be
picture.
uncomfortable to sit on. Ugh.
You would think.
Are those people the definition she's talking about? Because, like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of complicated.
Yes.
Any other way, it's stupid. So, yeah. Oh, Leslie's here. Or is that little one using her account again?
That's little one using her account.
Okay.
At least give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Hey, Jacob, we see you. We hear you. We love you.
There might be some delay, but we love you. I just wasn't sure.
Yes, you're supposed to stop in, babe, tomorrow. That's tomorrow, babe, is happy anniversary day. So you can go back to drawing for me, okay?
I love him. He is so precious. He is so precious.
All right, my love.
Oh, God, I love kids. Kids are the best.
Mm-hmm.
The only creatures you want to choke out and hug at the same time.
Yes. No, I don't want to choke him out yet. Maybe his dad and maybe his grandfather, but not him, not yet. You're okay, babe. You're okay, Jake. Go ahead. You can log off. You want to join us tomorrow? Oh, dear Lord. Sorry about that, people. He wanted to stop for our anniversary tomorrow. He thought it was tonight.
I'm trying to remember my Wi-Fi password. Shit. I was brought a Chromebook for school purposes, and I'm trying to remember my password. Let me hit play on this while I try and remember my password.
Okay, go ahead.
They do a pretty good job of pretending to be a lawyer. It's unimaginable to me that any competent lawyer, much less a Supreme Court justice, would manage to conflate the concepts of jurisdiction and standing.
Let me just ask you one question about your response to Justice Kagan. You were talking about the various reasons why Congress had arriving in this statute, and that one of them, you said, was the fact that there was previously a distinction between deportation and exclusion, and that Congress was trying to ensure that that was also covered, or that the principles related to deportation and exclusion were covered by this new regime. My understanding is that exclusion applied to people who were, quote, at a land border, at a port. But your reconceptualization of what arriving in is doing does not allow for at a land border or at a port. And so can you help me to understand how Congress could both be attempting to ensure that those principles were included, but we still agree with your reading of the statute?
The phrase at a land border in this context refers to people on the U.S. side of the border rather than the Mexican side of the border. And we know that in two ways. First is the court's entry fiction cases, like Kaplan against Todd and Leng Mei Ma, repeatedly refer to aliens on the U.S. side of the border who've just arrived.
In the entry fiction context, but we don't have a case or a scenario in which Congress makes clear that it's responding to the entry fiction when it uses the words arriving at, right?
And the second answer is that in Cardozo-Fonseca, when the statute said at a land border, the court understood that to refer to aliens in the United States.
Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
Good. All right, now we're going to get the other side. The other side's lawyer is named Cochran. What's her first name? Let's see. Oh, come on. Yeah, Cochran. Oh, Kelsey. It reminds me of the movie Legally Blonde. Of course, it's a Kelsey. It's like a stripper name. Kells.
Oh my God, he literally just said it's a stripper name.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's great. Wow. Okay. I just wanted to pause there. That was a great combination.
Kelsey Corcoran, arguing for Al Otro Lado, which is the pro-migrant NGO organization.
Ms. Corcoran?
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court. In the 1980 Refugee Act, Congress established a statutory process for non-citizens fleeing persecution to seek protection in the United States. Congress designed the scheme to track the United States.
Of course she looks like this. Of course she did. You could have had a police lineup and I would have picked her out as Kelsey Corcoran. Good Lord.
States treaty obligation not to refile refugees to territories where their life or freedom would be threatened. Because refoulement includes, to quote Sale, defensive acts of resistance or exclusion at the border, the act requires immigration officers to process claims not only for non-citizens already present in the country, but also for those arriving at ports and elsewhere along the border. For decades, port officers followed the statutory procedures designated by Congress for inspecting and processing arriving asylum seekers. It was not until 2016 that the government asserted for the first time that it can wholly avoid these mandatory duties simply by blocking asylum seekers just as they are about to step over the port threshold. Petitioner's theory of the statutory text isolates the word "in" at the expense of making the rest of the statute nonsensical. By petitioner's account, the phrase "arrives in the United States" has no meaning not already covered by present in the
You know, we should should we play a game? Guess the cats. How many cats do you think Kelsey Corcoran has in her house? How many cats? What's the over-under? 10? Should we make the over-under 10?
United States. Arrives means already arrived, and amendments that Congress intended to encourage non-citizens to lawfully seek admission, in fact, did the opposite, permitting border officers to effectively eliminate access to asylum at ports. Petitioner's position is also at odds with the original public meaning of the provisions, reflected in the government's longstanding inspection practices at the time of IIRA's enactment, and in the government's own regulations, which have recognized for nearly 30 years that the Act's inspection and processing duties apply to non-citizens, quote, coming or attempting to come into the United States at a port of entry. As this court observed in Thoracicum, Congress carefully crafted our asylum system to ensure that the United States lives up to its ideals and its treaty obligations towards non-citizens fleeing persecution. The turn-back policy flouted both, and the Ninth Circuit was correct to deem it a withholding of the government's statutory mandates. I welcome the court's questions.
How would you distinguish this case from Sale?
This case is distinguishable from Sale in a number of ways. One, Sale involved the withholding provision alone. It didn't involve the statutory mandates that are at issue here in 1225, the inspection and processing mandates. So here we have a 7061 claim about whether the government has withheld compliance with those mandates. Sale is also different from an extraterritoriality and a treaty perspective because it involved interdiction on the high seas, which, as Sale explained, is outside of the jurisdiction of the United States, so it raises a host of questions that aren't raised here. I'd be happy to address some of the points my friend made.
Could you address 1157?
Yes. So 1157 is the refugee program. My friend takes the position that we have collapsed the distinction between the two. Our position reflects the way that 1157 and 1158 operated from 1980 to 2016. So for 36 years, no one was concerned about the distinction being collapsed, and that's because they serve two entirely different functions. Section 1157's refugee program is entirely elective. The president chooses whether to admit refugees. It's not something that refugees in other countries can apply for. It's decided between the countries. There are a host of benefits you get if you are admitted through that program, but 1157 is not the provision that implements the Article 33 obligations. That happens through the asylum processing that's under 1225 and 1158. And that asylum processing is also how you determine whether someone is entitled to withholding.
Mr. Suri gave some responses to Justice Kagan in saying that there's a subset of people who are arriving in the U.S. who are, as opposed to longstanding people. The problem with that is those people who are arriving, he says, are present in the U.S. So I'm not sure how his answer gets you around the surplus problem.
Yes, I agree. My friend made a number of new arguments about surplusage that weren't in the briefing, and I think that is one of them. But I would note exactly what you said. Making it a subsection doesn't mean that it's not redundant. It's still entirely redundant.
Well, that's true, Ms. Corcoran, that it's a subset, and so there's still redundancy. But I suppose if Congress in IIRA had just created this big deal about expedited removal and said that expedited removal was what arriving people got, it might be that they just wanted to emphasize that just because you were that you were subject to the expedited removal procedures did not mean that you still couldn't apply for asylum. So the fear, if you might say, is that if they had just had that one physically present in provision and struck out what had previously been in the statute, the arrive at the port provision, somebody might have thought, like, all these people that are now being subject to expedited removal do not have the right to apply for asylum. And this provision is supposed to make clear that they do.
There's no reason for the inspection mandate to need to make that clear because 1225B, the asylum processing section, it's in B12A, has a whole process in place for how you assess asylum claims by arriving aliens. So that credible fear interview provision says if an immigration officer determines that an alien who is arriving in the United States has expressed a fear of future persecution, then the immigration officer shall refer them for a credible fear interview. And then there are a host of provisions that explain how that credible fear assessment plays into expedited removal. So there would be no way that someone could read the entirety of 1225 and be concerned.
Okay, that's basically the summary. Did we want to jump into the...
No, we can. Yeah, go ahead to the next one.
Okay, I apologize. I was trying to connect a computer and could not get my password right, even when looking at it. I could not get it right. So, whatever. This is pertaining to birthright citizenship. So, yeah, this is another example of this woman should not be in office, or not in office, as a Supreme Court judge, my personal opinion.
Now, y'all, today we're going to be talking about your girl, Justice. That's justice for you. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, and the Supreme Court heard the birthright citizenship case today, y'all. It was a doozy. But there was one clip of your girl that came out, and it's been making its rounds around the
Crazy
internet today.
Just stop 1 second there.
Yep.
I just want everybody to realize this is from a different content creator.
Oh, yeah.
So they arrive at the same conclusion about her.
She's a dipshit.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but the problem is people are not giving you the full context about what she was asking, about what she was saying. So I'm going to bring that to you today, y'all, so that you can make a real opinion about whether or not you think was she out to lunch? Was she way out in left field? Or can you say, I can see what she was talking about. So y'all, first what we're going to do, we're going to listen to kind of the intro to her question. She's going to refer to another question that was asked by Judge Alito. So we're going to intro her question. Then we're going to get the context with Judge Alito's question. Then we're going to circle back around to the conclusion that your girl drew, right? That got everybody up in an uproar. And then I'm going to ask you, once we hear what she has to say, I'm going to ask you, what do you think? Can you see where she's coming from? And I guess in the bigger picture, what do you think about this whole birthright citizenship thing on a whole, y'all? So first, let's start with her intro to her question here.
Justice Jackson?
So I want to understand how you are responding to the government's argument that because temporary visitors and undocumented immigrants are still governed by their home countries, and in the government's take on this, you can't have you can have allegiance to two different sovereigns. Those groups can't have the requisite allegiance to be subject to the United States for the purpose of the 14th Amendment. That's what I hear the government saying. But I do think that that seems to rest on a different understanding of allegiance than what was in the English common law. And that when we understand what the English common law thought about allegiance, you can see that you can have allegiance to two different sovereigns at the same time. This kind of goes back to Justice Alito's questions. I mean,
so let's listen to what Justice Alito had to say. He was asking questions about can someone have allegiance to different sovereigns, basically different countries, but different sovereign nations. So can you have allegiance to the United States and to Russia? Can you have allegiance to the United States and Canada? Can you have allegiance to two different countries? Let's say United States being one of them. So listen to the entirety of Justice Alito's question. Then we'll pop back over to your girl and hear her analysis.
Ms. Wang, would you agree that the citizenship test in the 14th Amendment is the same as the test in the 1866 Civil Rights Act?
So the words are obviously different. What Wong Kim Ark tells us and what the debates tell us is that the framers, it was the same Congress, obviously, framing both. Congress was trying to do the same thing with both the 1866 Act and with the 14th Amendment. They wanted to capture the common law exceptions and the Indian tribal exception. They started out with the two separate phrases, not subject to any foreign power, plus excluding Indians not taxed. And as Justice Gray described it in his majority opinion in Wong Kim Ark, they decided to switch to the affirmative phrase, subject to the jurisdiction.
Yeah, well, do they mean the same thing? And wouldn't it be very odd if the citizenship test in the 14th Amendment were broader than the citizenship test in the 1866 Civil Rights Act, particularly in the light of the fact that the 1866 Civil Rights Act was reenacted after the adoption of the 14th Amendment and remained in place until 1940.
Sure, the framers were trying to do the same thing with the language in both.
Okay, so then I think we can turn to the language of the 1866 Civil Rights Act because it's more straightforward. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof is like the puzzle wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a mystery, but not subject to any foreign power is pretty straightforward. So let me give you these examples. A boy is born here to an Iranian father who has entered the country illegally. That boy is automatically an Iranian national at birth, and he has a duty to provide military service to the Iranian government. Is he not subject to any foreign power?
Not within the meaning of the 1866 Act, Justice Alito. And that's clear from Wong Kim Ark, and it's clear from the debates. What the framers meant by the phrase not subject to any foreign power was referring to the ambassador.
She was around in 1776?
Wow, she looks good. She looks good.
Damn, 250 years old.
That's that Botox working for her.
All I gotta say is, wow, for 250 years old, and she knows what they meant. I think subject to their jurisdiction, as in when you're in their country, you break a law, they can jail you. It's not the same thing as we expect you to move to our country and serve in our military for so many years. And if there's a conflict between our two countries, you better pick
You'll
one.
fight for us. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is a difference.
Out of all of this argument is, I would really like to see people standing up for the American people.
I know.
Where is her allegiance to the American people? I'm calling
she's an ACLU legal director. ACLU,
Right.
right there states why it's not America
I
first.
get it. And I call her a traitor to the American people.
Uh-huh.
That's
Now,
what she is.
and that's my thing is they're interpreting birthright citizenship the way they want it to be versus what it actually was. And it was a way to give the children of slaves legal citizenship in America so they didn't have to all be shipped back over to Africa, a country they've
Correct.
never known for however many
Right.
generations here.
Right.
That's the whole point of birthright citizenship. It didn't apply to,
And wait a second, and I'm just going to throw this out. And they really messed that one up too because, we want reparations.
Well, actually, they were owed to. A lot of the slave owners promised some form of reparation, but never actually paid it. So some
Well,
were
to the
technically
slaves might be
owed,
one thing, but not to the entire
3,
population.
4, and 5 generations later, no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
You're gonna get 40 acres and a donkey. How's that sound?
Or 40 acres and a donkey, or we'll help ship you back.
That's an option. I mean, it might have been a mule. I might have that wrong. But either way, the whole point is reparations, what they were in the 1860s and before, are not what they think it is going to be today.
Yeah. Not all the way from here's a hotel to here's a coupon to get your clothes cleaned.
What was the value of 40 acres in the 1800s? Have fun dividing that up amongst your family.
Yeah, there you go.
In that time,
sliver.
because it was due back in the 1860s, so you get the amount of what it would have been in the 1860s.
Right.
No interest. I mean,
oh, well, there's another case for the Supreme Court to decide.
You don't hear me bitching about reparations from the Muslim Turks for what they did to my ancestors.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Thanks, JJ.
Or the Germans for what they did to the other side of my ancestors.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I could just literally go on. Because, I mean, technically, I could correct reparations from every single one of the versions that lead back all the way to the beginning of time, and I'd still not be. I mean, come on. Y'all are just so fun. It happened in the past. Let's not repeat it. And there is no making up for it. And even if we give you money, you're just going to blow it on something stupid. You're not going to likely invest it. You'll probably buy some car that you can't afford in the long run, or clothing that's useless.
Okay, hold up. So if we go back to reparations and giving you all of that, then, then let's throw the whole Civil Rights Act and
throw that right out the window because you no longer deserve the Civil Rights Act because you got your reparations.
That's correct.
That's because
all. Yeah, because you got more than I got. You got 40 acres and a mule.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I grew up with all of that, the civil rights, and I grew up with having all of the minority and having to put minority programs into place as HR and making sure that to keep government contracts, I scraped minorities off the street to come work in manufacturing. Yeah, I did all that to keep those government contracts and have government auditors come in to audit the book to make sure that everything was on the up and up. And you never knew when they were going to pop in. They didn't announce themselves. They showed up on plant site and books had to be opened.
And just really quick, I'm going to say hi to Peggy. Hi, Peggy.
Hey, Peggy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point,
where does it
we
end?
We always just hovered right above being able to get something, and so life was always a struggle.
I learned to just suck it up, do what I got to do, move through freaking life, and budget my money so I put my bills first, food second, wants third. Oh my God, seriously. Even now I still penny pinch.
I know.
I penny pinch the fuck out of everything.
Here's what's bad. I'll still pick a penny up.
My kid does too. My son.
Yeah, people will walk by. I'm not adverse to it. That's why I have a polar water jar filled with pennies.
I'm the one who will sit there, and if I can buy the same pair of jeans for $4 cheaper, I'm getting the $4 cheaper ones. Even if it's 50 cents cheaper. Every penny that you do not spend is money saved. And sue me. Like, again, there are things that, like, my daughter, we need paper towel, we need Lysol wipes. It's called a washcloth and a bucket of bleach. Get over it. Like, I'm
All right.
seriously that person.
Let's try to finish. Do you have time to finish this idiot up?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll finish this up and then
Call it a day.
we'll call it a day.
And we can pick up
let's
tomorrow
finish
where we left off.
Yeah. And then just in case anybody is going to leave us, thank you for joining us this evening. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, subscribe, and set your notifications. We will be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. We will try to keep it as light as possible because it is our 1-year anniversary of launching Rex Sisters. So that, unfortunately, if you didn't get in, we will be giving away the 2 $10 Amazon gift cards. And we have some things planned for tomorrow. So please, everybody, join us for our 1 year. And with that, let's finish off with this person and we'll kind of go from there, Crazy B.
Alrighty.
Exception. If it meant what the government contends, basically not a subject of any foreign power, that another country considers you a jus sanguinis citizen, then lawful permanent residents, all foreign nationals.
Well, ordinary public meaning of that would certainly encompass that boy, would it not?
Justice Alito, if you think that the language of the 1866 Act was ambiguous, as Wong Kim Ark says, the shift to the language of the 14th Amendment, which is the operative text, certainly clears up any ambiguity.
What I said about a boy born to an Iranian father is true of children born here to parents who are nationals of other countries. If I'm correct, it's true to a child who's born here to Russian parents. It's true to a child who's born here to Mexican parents. They're automatically citizens or nationals of those countries and have a duty of military service. It sure seems like that makes them subject to a foreign power.
But again, Justice Alito, that would have meant that the children of Irish, Italian, and other immigrants, which Wong Kim Ark refers to and the debate the framers referred to, would not have been citizens either. Because if the only test is whether that US-born child is considered a citizen by another country under their jus sanguinis laws, then no foreign nationals' children would be.
Well, in all of those cases, the parents could be naturalized and then the children would be derivative.
So she's literally saying that anyone who came here in the 1800s, no matter what country they were from, who had a child that was, and again, this was when people were exploiting the birthright citizenship laws, from no matter what country, in my opinion, is send them back.
Yeah.
My family came over legally in the 1920s, so y'all can't pull that shit on me. But if anyone's family was sent here as indentured servants, serving out crime, punishment for a crime they committed in Europe, if they came here and stayed and weren't supposed to, then your parents, maybe we should send them all back. How many people in America would be sent back to Europe and have no clue what was going on? How many of these people on the bench?
Yeah.
How many judges, lawyers? Come on.
Take a look at Cecilia Wang.
Yeah.
Look at her. Where would she be going back to?
The question is, did they at some point become naturalized? We're changing this up now to be a more specific by ending birthright citizenship, your parents have to be naturalized or you have to become naturalized yourself. There is no anchor
Correct.
baby bullshit.
Correct.
We want
And
to
that's what they're trying to
sit back
eliminate.
and nitpick history. Well, I mean, come on. Even the Native Americans who came across the Bering Strait, what are we going to do about them?
Right.
I mean, to me, common sense has to come somewhere. And I know common sense ain't that common anymore, but the adults in the room are trying to use logic, but the idiots who are being willful idiots are trying really hard not to hear it, despite their best efforts. And yes, we allowed birthright citizenship up until Trump said, no more. Now you guys are arguing it.
Exactly. Because they don't like it.
And fine, but I don't think the founding fathers meant for it to be the way they're exploiting it.
Correct. He didn't mean, I don't think they would have ever dreamt that
people would be doing this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then again, I bet they didn't expect each state to try and tell us we had to license each of our firearms and get permission to carry it.
That's true too.
But somehow that shit still happened.
Yep.
All right, let me hit play. I'm going to try not to interrupt. But yeah, they're taking this to a willful, stupid level.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely naturalized when the parents were naturalized.
So there you heard Justice Alito saying, well, hold up. Now, if somebody's born on the United States soil, they might be a U.S. citizen according to our current interpretation of the law, right? Of the Constitution. But that person might they might actually be a citizen of another country, might be even an enemy of ours, and they might have a duty to go there and do military service. Like, how can that happen, right? So he's calling into question this idea that you can really have allegiance to two different countries. Particularly, I think he used Iran as the first example, because right now we're fighting a war with them, right? So with that in mind, okay, listen to how your girl, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, how she reasons all of this through.
I was thinking about this, and I think there are various sources that say this, that you can you obviously have permanent allegiance based on being born in whatever country you're from.
That has obviously been proven false because we have second and third generation Iranians, immigrants' children who are more radical than their parents or grandparents ever were.
Correct. Hey, Vanilla.
In my personal opinion, that being born here does not mean you have an allegiance to here. Look at half the college kids out there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're American. There are Americans that don't have allegiance to this country.
They're insane. And I say ship them on their merry way.
Mm-hmm.
I say ship them on their merry way. All right. I promised I wasn't going to pause as much. Me and my big mouth.
Control yourself.
That's what everybody recognizes. But you also have local allegiance when you are on the soil of this other sovereign. And I was thinking, I, a U.S. citizen, am visiting Japan. And what it means is that, if I steal someone's wallet in Japan, the Japanese authorities can arrest me and prosecute me.
That is not the same as having an allegiance. That is subject jurisdiction.
That's subject to that's laws, jurisdiction. What is she talking about?
Jurisdictional law, not allegiance. Allegiance. She is stupid. We have come to determine this. I'm sorry if that's a hurtful word. I don't give a shit. Actually, I'm not sorry. Fuck that shit. She's an idiot. I can't help it. That is not an allegiance. That is abiding by a country's laws, because if you don't, your country may never hear from you again.
Goodness. I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah.
It's allegiance, meaning can they control you as a matter of law. I can also rely on them if my wallet is stolen to,
That's not
under
allegiance.
Japanese law, go and prosecute the person who has stolen it. So there's this relationship based on, even though I'm a temporary traveler, I'm just on vacation in Japan.
She sounds like a sovereign citizen.
Uh-huh.
Have you
Right.
seen those sovereign citizen idiots in court?
I know. I know. I know.
Okay, she reminds me of the sovereign citizen idiots. No. Allegiance
play.
and
Hit play.
subject
Hit play.
jurisdiction.
I'm still
Hit play.
locally owing allegiance in that sense. Is that the right way to think about it? And if so, doesn't that explain why both temporary
not even close
residents and undocumented people would
wait. So if this, hold on, I got to point this out. So if you are overstaying your visa in another country and that you are subject to get removed to them by their jurisdictional laws and they're telling you to get the fuck out no matter what your allegiance is, we get to do it here. Sorry.
Yep. Right.
Just going to point that out.
Yep. That's facts.
have that kind of quote unquote allegiance just by virtue of
That's
being
not
in the United
allegiance.
States.
That's absolutely right, Justice Jackson. And that
And the fact she admits it's right and she's wrong, blatantly wrong. Horrible English language skills. Sorry. Okay, I'm shutting up.
Words with the plain text of the 14th Amendment as it applies to everyone born in the United States, other than those subject to the exceptions that were baked in a close set. You owe natural allegiance as a U.S. born citizen. If you want to look at the parents of those people, and let's say the parents are foreign nationals but not ambassadors, the parents owe temporary allegiance.
Right, so the babies get the permanent allegiance piece of this, and the parents get the local allegiance piece of this. So to the extent we're looking for allegiance, we have it.
She's so misusing the word allegiance. I've got to stop it. I'm going to lose my...
Just hit play. Let's finish it. Just, you'll be... It's okay.
Do we have to sit through the last 3 minutes?
Yes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Damn it.
That's right.
So much for stopping at any time.
That got everybody in an
LOL.
uproar because she uses this term allegiance, like I pledge allegiance to the flag, right? Like it's something that's inside of you or something that you're generating that you're bestowing upon a country. I have allegiance inside of me and I'm giving it to this country. I have allegiance inside of me and I could give it to that country if I wanted to, right? But the way she's using it is in another fashion. It's not something inside of you that you're giving to a country. Instead, she's using this confusingly, but according to English common law, as in basically the country has the ability to force you to follow their laws or to get you in trouble if you don't. So she's using the word allegiance in a way that we don't typically use it. And that is really the problem that has generated so many headlines about her today. But in her defense, y'all, she is using it appropriately in this context,
Not in my
but it's
opinion.
just not the way we normally use
Nope.
it. So I would say my opinion here, it seems like she's defending the idea that somebody who's coming to this country just to give birth, just so that their children can be U.S. citizens. It seems like she's defending that. And in that sense, I disagree with her. I don't like it. I don't think we should, even if that was the case before, I think we should do away with it now. So that's my opinion on it, y'all. I think most countries do not have birthright citizenship as far as I know. I don't think we need to have that anymore. It might have been good for one time. Might have been good previously. I think we should do away with it. If we have to do away with it constitutionally, legislatively, Supreme Courtedly, however we have to get rid of it, let's get rid of it. People should have at least one parent who's a United States citizen, or you become naturalized. That's how you become a citizen of the United States.
Yep, I agree.
You know what's interesting though with particularly there's that island that China can bypass everything, drop their baby, become a US citizen, and they fly back to mainland China, right? So you come back for college and you stay. Where's your allegiance at?
Where you were raised, more than likely.
Correct.
Not
Yep.
that matters in America, but in China, if you don't have allegiance to China, you're probably not going to make it to adulthood anyways.
Right. And neither will your family back in China.
Yeah. So there's that as well.
Or probably for something like Iran or.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole I'm dying for getting rid of all of it. It should have never happened to begin with. Again, Congress has failed to act on so much of the immigration laws. It's their responsibility. They've let how many presidents now? 5 take on immigration, all by executive order. And nobody just, we're hell in a handbasket right now. We're go time. Something's got to stop. It's just, if this continues, I don't know, we're lost.
Uh-huh.
And I don't see anybody fighting back. Congress is sitting on their, never mind, don't get me started. We're finishing. We're done. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, again for joining Rex Sisters. Tomorrow's our 1-year anniversary. Please join us at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, I'm done. I have to go take care of business next door, 4 rooms away.
Okay. I'm going to tell everyone my usual of stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. And, all that happy stuff that we tell you guys to do. And, oops, I left a message pinned. JJ told me it was the Inuits that came across the Bering Strait. And congratulations, and see us tomorrow. So, yep, y'all stay safe, stay sane, stay sober, all that fun stuff that I suggest that you don't have to do, but it helps life sometimes. So, and with that, I guess we'll see them on the next one.
All right, good night.
Good night. Oh, this one.